I've struggled.
I've struggled.
I struggled.
I've struggled.
I've struggled.
I've struggled.
I've struggled.
December the 27th, 2013, my phone rings. A man I don't know is on the other end of that phone. There's no easy way to tell you this, but it would appear that your father has taken his own life.
I've always wanted to be a footballer. It's always been my dream ever since I was 3 years old. And it was a thing that I put all of my hope, my identity and confidence in.
When lockdown first happened in March, I kind of went into full-on survival mode. You think about the worst that could happen, the worst case scenario. Everybody's talking about controlling something, but it's out of control. And I just wasn't there in so many ways. And the big question for me was why? It makes no sense. My dad was work hard, play hard. He had everything going for him, really. He was fit as a fiddle, a handsome man. And our parents are our biggest influence.
At the time, I had interest from clubs all around the world, the biggest clubs in Europe and in England. Every game that I played, I was trying to prove to everybody else that I am this wonder kid.
And so I want to be rich, I want to be famous, I want to be like Arnold Schwarzenegger, I want to be like Sylvester Stallone. And I went out into the world to be a celebrity in a celebrity culture. And I thought, wow, I've made it then, freedom. But it didn't bring freedom, there's no freedom.
The last couple of years before this have been some of the toughest times in my life. There was many things about me that I was trying to protect that are actually just my ego.
As an athlete, you carry some sort of pressure, whether it's from yourself, from your family. And the more I was trying, the harder it was becoming. And I was trying to eat better, sleep better. I would come off the pitch sometimes crying in tears. Why is it not going well? Why am I not playing well?
The question is, who are you in those moments? And maybe the person that I was just on my own with wasn't somebody that I really wanted to be with.
Me and Dad were both in the dark. The blind was leading the blind. We were going into a big hole. And he thought that suicide was the answer. But it's never the answer because you're not alone and there's hope.
My confidence was so low. And I actually said to God, I prayed, I said, God, if you're done with me in football, tell me now, because I'm finished. That's what I said at 21. The boy who had this passion for football. But I felt very strongly, and God replied to me and say, now you're ready.
When it comes down to it, what God wanted me to own up to was that I am just a very flawed, fallible me. I just had to own up and be real about those things, and God met me in that struggle.
Now I was finally willing to let go of the one thing that I was never willing to let go of, and that was people's opinions about me. And as soon as I made that agreement in my mind, it's like weights just fell off of my shoulders.
We don't have to live a life of fear like my dad did. We don't have to live under the curse of death. That's not God's plan. In these times now where life don't make any sense, where I feel alone or I feel desperate, I pray to God and He comes into my life through His Holy Spirit.
When you start with that, being loved as a sinner and as somebody who's so messed up, everything else after that is just a bonus.
And maybe, you're watching this video and you're putting your identity on your work, on your job, on your finances, or even on people's opinions of you. But if you build your life upon that foundation, you're going to be shaken.
If you're feeling suicidal, if you're feeling there's no hope, tell somebody, talk to somebody. But the good news is there's hope and you're not alone. You're not alone.
He is the one constant in my life. Every single day I wake up and His mercies are new every morning and His faithfulness is so great.
Your life is a gift and you aren't supposed to carry these weights of pressure, these weights of heaviness.
You're one prayer away from that. Don't give up, you've got hope.
I've struggled.
I've struggled.
But I've found hope. And hope has a name, and His name is Jesus.